Alright, boys and girls, this is Benjamin Bakshoy. We're back in F124 looking at the Verstappen event at Spain where you need to win the race. And if you take a look at our personal best time, it's a 1:11.9, almost 1.3 seconds, 1.4 seconds off of world record pace. So we're not exactly quick. This is on 110 AI difficulty, and it's not really that difficult for some reason. So you're starting in 4th on the softs. The softs are pretty much brand new. I think these are the C3s or the C2s, so even though they're soft compound, they're one of the harder of the soft compounds. So you can use the time trial setup. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm using just the time trial setup, world record time trial setup, and didn't really adjust anything. Now the tire temps on the left-hand side will reach pretty high temps. I believe the rears can go as high as like 109 or 110 degrees Celsius. But I think we sit at about 108 on average. So you don't really have to worry about tire temps as you're only doing 5 or 6 laps or so anyway. So yeah, just throw on the time trial setup and you should be all set. So we start a couple seconds off behind Perez. Everybody else ahead of us will be on the mediums except for Hamilton in P1, who I believe is on the hards, either the medium or the hards. So you have the best tires out of everybody, and as you can see right on lap number 1, we're not even using hot lap, or we're using hot lap for the straight here, but we didn't use hot lap or overtake for lap number 1, and we still managed to get a pretty decent lap time and having a bit of a moment through the first few corners there, but we recovered nicely and we're about 2.2 seconds behind Perez. So obviously you don't have too many laps to work with here, just a handful of laps, and I think Hamilton starts off about 6 seconds or so ahead of you. Luckily there are back markers that should help you out, and as you can see on lap 62 we're already right almost behind Perez here. 1.7, as we have a bit of an issue in the uphill left right there, and coming to the end of the second sector here, we do catch up to Perez. There's a back marker here in Hulkenberg that will give you DRS, which is going to be very helpful to keep up with Perez, even though you can see we're already making up time. So 1.5 seconds to Perez. Luckily we get DRS off of Hulkenberg here, which should make our pursuit a little bit easier. Now there are some things you need to watch out for. On the penultimate lap, a car does DNF on the main straight, so you need to make that final overtake before then. So just remember that if you're not close enough to Hamilton by lap 65, the start of lap 65, you should probably restart unless you can make an overtake at another part on track. But as you can see here, halfway through sector 2 on lap 63, we've already caught up to Perez, and since there's the back marker in front of him, I want to try and get this overtake done as quick as possible. Don't give him an opportunity to get DRS off of, I believe that's Joe or Bottas. Can't really remember which of the Saubers that is, but we do decide to make the move right here because he's really close to the Sauber ahead of him, and I don't want him to get it is Bottas. I don't want him to get DRS on the main straight, so it's not going to be difficult. I was hoping Bottas could be quick enough here to give us DRS on the main straight, but then he pulls out of the way here, and we are 1.4 away from the 2 Mercedes. So start of lap 64 right now, and we are really close as we set another fastest lap again. You want to get a very good fastest lap, as that helps in the score total at the end of the race. So get a really good fast lap. Just at least get the fastest lap. That should give you some extra bonus points. And then try to finish the race as quickly as possible to get the most points. So as you can see, we've already caught up to the back of Russell here. Hamilton's not too far ahead either. I did do this a couple times, and there were 1 or 2 races where Hamilton was like 2 seconds ahead of Russell. So luckily we get a good RNG roll here, and Hamilton isn't too far ahead of Russell. Now at this point I was planning on just waiting for the main straight and then trying to overtake the both of them. As you can see, they're really close here. Russell will get DRS once you come to the main straight, so you should save a little bit of battery. At this point we're at about 50% and still running on medium. I didn't have to drop down to none at all during any point of this race, and we managed to stick to Russell's gearbox here. Really slow through that right-hander. I was hoping he didn't fall too far back from Hamilton. And then coming down the main straight here, he slows down quite a bit. We almost hit him there. But we do get DRS, get on the overtake here, and should be an easy overtake on Hamilton here. And there you go. Just go onto the outside. Give us the inside for the second corner of the chicane, and we make a nice clean pass. And right on time, you can see one of the Alpines, I believe it is DNFing on the start-finish straight right now. So you don't want to wait until that last lap to make an overtake, because it did have that happen. I thought, okay, he's DNFing on lap 65, it should be cleared up by the time we come around for the start of lap 66, but it didn't. There was still a yellow flag there. I overtook Hamilton, and then I got an illegal overtake warning, had to give him the position back. We did manage to get out in front of him again, but it lost us a couple of seconds, and ultimately our final time was ruined a little bit. So we're just going to skip ahead to the final lap here. By the time we get to halfway through lap 66, the final lap, we were already over a second ahead of Hamilton and Russell, so we had really nothing to worry about. And yeah, this wasn't really too difficult. So if you're playing at like 100 or 105 and you managed to beat it, or it wasn't too difficult for you, I'd say just bump it up to 110 and see if you can get it done. Personally, Spain isn't too difficult of a track for me. As you can see, we were only 1.3 seconds or so behind world record time in time trial, but still, that's not really fast. 1.3 seconds per lap is quite a bit of ways to be off of the world record time. So if I can do it, you can probably do it as well, as we're not super quick. Now, the only thing that kind of threw me off here was I did finish a race before at 110 difficulty, and we managed to get 211,000 points. But as you can see, as we skip ahead to the end of the race here, we only got 190,000 points for this race. And it kind of confused me, as I thought this race was so much better than that first race. One, we didn't get the illegal overtake on Hamilton. Two, our fastest lap was much faster. And three, I think our total race time was a lot faster. But when you look at the leaderboards here, we didn't score as high as our last run. And then drivers like Kevin Balash in P29 there, who finished the race 8 seconds faster than we did, is lower on the charts than we are. So that's a little bit confusing for me. I don't know if maybe you lose points the more times you try it, but yeah, I feel like that last race was better than the one that we see on the leaderboard right now. And we didn't score as many points. And then you have like esports pace type guys like Kevin Balash down in P29 when he was clearly much faster than we were. So I don't really know what's going on there, but yeah, I hope that helps you guys out with the Verstappen at Catalonia scenario event. If you think I've earned it, feel free to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Stay tuned for more, and remember to eat your bok choy. I'll see you all in the next one.